Have you ever wondered what the easiest way to not only the easiest way to get listings, but the cheapest way, the most efficient way, the strategy that actually doesn't make you feel awkward about talking to property owners about selling their properties? That's what I want to talk about today. I want to teach you, really, it's not even the easiest listing strategy. Like, it's literally the greatest lead gen strategy that I have ever seen, in my opinion. And like, I had somebody come up to me yesterday because I did listing selling secrets. I do a quarterly event in Gulf Shores. It's an all-day workshop, and there was about 50, 60 agents there. And I had one of them come up to me and say that he had somebody in one of his call groups say, "Why are you going to listen to that guy? He doesn't even sell anymore." It's like, okay. Number one, that agent that said that's literally his strategy is to get buyer leads through SEO and Google pay-per-click. So I was like, well, did you ask him why anybody would listen to somebody who gets buyer leads off of Google pay-per-click? Number one. But number two, what you guys got to realize about me is that, yeah, like, I'm still in the game. Why? Because I'm still making calls. I still test my strategies out all the time myself. I make calls. I do live call sessions, and I also coach hundreds and even thousands of agents are in my ecosystem that I work with. And they test out my strategies all the time. I'll take it a step further. I literally come up with new strategies all the time based on the current market. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. Um, like, if you look at the current market climate and what worked for me when I was coming up and what's working now, and I'm going to say, please don't judge your business right now based on your conversion rates right now. A lot of agents are discouraged right now because they're doing a lot of work, they're making a lot of calls, they're shaking the bushes, they're going after listings, they're showing properties, and nothing's really panning out. Not a lot of stuff's panning out. And there's a very obvious reason for that. We're on the brink of one of the craziest elections that we've ever seen. And a lot of people are just chilling right now. A lot of buyers and sellers are literally just chilling right now. And so what you need to be focused on, it's not how many deals you're closing right this second, right? Go as hard as you can to close all the deals that you can, but realize whatever you close, just chalk it up as a bonus. Chalk it up as, like, I'm surviving right now in literally the worst market this is like one of the worst markets we've ever seen. We're going to have fewer transactions this year than we had in 2008. In 2008, we're having less transactions. That was one of the most fearful times that I've ever seen. I was literally working on an oil rig after I made $1 million and lost it all. Just know that if you're in the game right now and you're still moving forward and you're still trying to learn how to play this game, and you're closing deals and you're surviving and you're out here hustling and you're moving forward and you're developing your skills, let me tell you something, you are winning. And when the market turns around, you are going to crush it. Whatever your conversion rate is right now, whatever your rate of success is right now, how many of our deals you're closing right now, don't even look at it, right? Don't even pay attention to that, because that is so far from what reality is going to be when it strikes, and it's going to strike hard. So I just want to give you guys a little encouragement. Don't worry about what's happening right now. We're fixing to be in for a ride next year and even the year after. It's going to be really fun. So, yeah, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the easiest, most cost efficient, most effective listing strategy there is. I'm about to get on my Vibe board and break some stuff down for you. Before I get into that, I just want to help you understand that everybody knows how to get listings. Like, everybody knows, like, talk to property owners, become their friend, get them to tell you exactly when they want to sell, why they want to sell, etc., and help them sell. Like, everybody knows that. Does anybody here not know that? Everyone knows that. And the reason why a lot of us aren't doing it is because we haven't become the person that can do it. Right? If we're not doing it, it's because we can't do it, because we're not the person who can do it. So before I tell you exactly what the strategy is, I need to help you become the person who can actually go out here and execute on the things I'm going to be talking about today. Otherwise, none of this means anything because you already know the basics, which is talk to property owners, help them sell properties. You know, put in the, if you want to, you can put in the comments why you think, since I would fear to say all agents, even brand new agents, like, you talk to property owners, you help them sell their properties. Why don't they do it? Well, I would fear to say it's because they haven't become the person. And see, that's the part I want to really help you with first before I dive into the strategy. So let's talk about what a listing is. Let's talk about what a listing is. I'm going to give you the Ricky Carruth definition of a listing. Okay. A listing is a written agreement in which a property owner hires you to solve a problem, right? Not sell a property. I hate to tell you guys, but not every single property owner cares if their property sells or not. One of the biggest problems agents have is they think that because they get a listing that they have to go try to figure out how to sell this listing. No, you don't. And you can't make a listing sell anyway. Do you think that if we could make listings sell, do you think there would be any listings available? Every listing we got would sell in 2 seconds because we just make it sell. Unfortunately, we cannot make anything sell, right? Our job is not necessarily to try to sell this listing. We're trying to serve this human. We're trying to help this property owner do whatever it is they're trying to do. And I just want to give you the news flash. It isn't always to sell the property necessarily. And you gotta learn how to go deep with their situation. And that's why I say a listing is not a written agreement in which a property owner hires you to sell a property. A listing is a written agreement in which a property owner hires you to solve a problem. People don't wake up and say, I want to sell this property for no reason. Right? Do you guys realize every single property in the world is uniquely amazing? Even if it's a tear down in the worst neighborhood, you cannot reproduce. It's like a fingerprint, right? Every single property, right? Do you guys realize more millionaires have been made from real estate than anything else? Real estate, we're at all-time highs right now. Like like if you bought real estate any time before now, you're up. Now, that's not to say that there's some fluctuations. You might not have bought high a couple months ago or something like that. Historically speaking, like if you bought last year, you might be about even. You bought the year before that, you're probably up a little. I bought several properties 2 years ago, and I'm up. I'm up on properties I bought last year. If you bought 3 years ago, you're up. 4 years ago, you're up. Anytime before that, you're up right now. And so you got to think, why would someone want to sell this asset that literally increases in value historically every year? Like, you might have a down year here and there, but over the long haul, this is going to be an appreciating asset. So you got to think, why would this person want to sell an appreciating asset? Right? It's not for no reason. Something's going on in their life. So before I can actually solve their problem, help them solve their problem, I got to know what their problem is. And by the way, in the description of this video, I put a link to my Trade Up Seller script. You don't even have to put your email address in there. It's just click the link and there it is. Trade Up Seller script. I've got a RedX discount and I have a tutorial on RedX right there in the description for you. Okay, what is a listing? It's a written agreement in which a property owner hires a real estate agent to not sell a property, but solve a problem of theirs by representing them on the sale of one or more pieces of property for an agreed on commission, right? At which point the agent can take said agreement and use it as an asset to leverage into other relationships, more deals, and use it to find the freedom. How do I write this? Multiply their time to find the freedom they've always desired. That's what a listing is. I'll read it all in one shot for you. This is the Ricky Carruth definition of a listing. A written agreement in which a property owner hires a real estate agent to solve a problem of theirs by representing them on the sale of one or more pieces of real estate they own at a specific price in exchange for an agreed on commission, at which point, in addition to pursuing any buyers for the property, the real estate agent may also use said agreement as an asset to leverage into other deals and relationships, as well as multiply their time to find the freedom they've always desired. The reason that we got in real estate in the first place was to find freedom, right? And listings give you the opportunity to find that freedom. How many of you guys put in the comments if you would love to have a business that's 80% listings and 20% buyers, right? To me, I haven't really came across any agents. I really haven't come across any agents. I'll go speak to these large crowds and stuff. I really haven't found an agent that's like, no, I don't want 80-20. I want more buyers than sellers. I'd rather have more buyers. I'll also ask the question, like, would you rather have 30 active listings or 30 active buyers? It's always that they would rather have 30 active listings. Why is that? Because listings give you leverage, right? So my point is that to have an 80-20 business, right? And this isn't theory. I did this my entire career. I had an 80-20 business, 80% listings, 20% buyers. Agents that I coach, they have 80-20. How do we accomplish the 80-20 ratio? I'll tell you how. It's real simple. You spend 100% of your time on listing activity. 100% of your prospecting efforts are on listing. I say listing, right? Let's rephrase that. Property owner prospecting, right? Property owner prospecting, right? The moment you do anything that is geared towards attracting a buyer to you. Now, if it's for the sake of the listing, like if you're putting a listing out there and you're advertising it and buyers are going to come to you, that's different. You're advertising your listing. If you do an open house because the seller made you, like that's how you got the listing, was they were like, you have to do an open house. And you explain to them you don't really do that, whatever, but then you ended up agreeing to doing the open house for the seller. You're doing it for the seller. That's fine. In my opinion, don't do open houses just to do open houses. Now, a lot of people, you may argue with me and say, oh, I love open houses and all that stuff. Great. I just believe that if you do anything that is geared towards you getting more buyers, you're going to skew this ratio from 80-20. And it's going to be 30-70, 60-40, 50-50, or worse. If you want 80-20, you focus 100% on property owners. And you're going to get buyers. Buyers are going to find you. They're like stage 5 clingers. They're going to come find you no matter where you at just because you're a real estate agent. Buyers are just a byproduct of being a real estate agent. You got to look for them. They're going to find you. And so if you want 80-20, the 20%, when you focus on property owners, are going to be property owners who buy, they sell, and then they buy. It's going to be people who want to buy your listings. Then maybe they buy your listing, and then maybe you start a relationship. They don't buy your listing, but you sell them something else. It's going to be referrals. It's going to be past clients, like family. You're going to get buyers. Don't worry, right? But if you want 80-20, you focus on property owners, geared more towards listings, but you don't. I never turned a buyer down. Like I never turned a buyer down. I just didn't have very many because I built my business on the merit around, for me, what was common sense around focusing on property owners so that I could build a very efficient business. So I'm just telling you all this because I'm trying to help you become the person that can understand not only how to do the thing, but also why we're doing the thing. We're not just doing it to doing it. We're doing it to build our business by design. We all want a business that gives us the freedom that we want. We all want a business that produces unlimited flow of passive leads, residual leads coming in. That's why I do the weekly email, and I didn't do anything else. I didn't really call my database every year or do client appreciation parties or send out Christmas cards. I did a little bit of that in the first couple of years, but I was like, I'm busy helping people hear my email. Like, let me design this thing where people just flow back to me because of the level of service that I give. That's how you build a monster business. When people come back to you because of the service you gave, over trying to win them over because you've done, you send them a birthday card. I mean, it means something. I'm not talking against it. I'm just saying, think about what you want your business. This is my point. Build your business, build your future business based on what you want it to be, because you can turn it into anything you want. All right, good stuff. So moving into strategy, I got one more thing I want to just share with you before I start to break it down. And that is the number one KPI of all lead gen, right? And let me know in the comments if you're getting anything out of this so far, right? If this is helping you whatsoever, if you're enjoying my little rant here today, let me know in the comments, just so I know that I'm talking to the right people and you guys are listening, and it's all good. But the number one KPI, right? What's a KPI? KPI is a key performance indicator, right? It's the piece of data that actually matters. It's the one piece of data that we're going to watch, that we're going to measure if we're successful or not with a specific activity. So the number one KPI, the number one piece of data that we need to pay attention to when it comes to lead generation is what? Right? Put in the comments, actually, right? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. What's the number one the number one KPI for lead gen, right? When you're doing your lead gen, what's the metric that you go by when you're trying to figure out if the lead gen activity that you're involved in is successful or not, right? What's that one piece that you're like, okay, this happened this many times out of this lead gen, so this is what I'm measuring the success of my lead gen on. Appointment, solving problems, not selling houses, genius, conversion, combos, appointments. So I'm just going to tell you, when it comes to lead gen, the number one KPI, the number one key performance indicator for me is how many conversations did I have? And why do I say that? Why do I break it down that way? Well, it's like this. You can't close a deal without talking to somebody. That's why I say it like that. Like, if you close a deal without talking to someone at all, it's happened. Like, I did one deal in 1,000 deals where I literally didn't speak to the person. This client was in another country. Everything was by email. I never actually talked to them on the phone. It was all through email, right? So it does happen, but people got to talk to you. I would fear to say most of you have never closed a deal without actually talking to someone. Therefore, conversation is king. Now, what's interesting is I also feel like conversation is the gatekeeper. Like, a closing can't happen without the conversation. So you can do all the lead gen activities you want, right? You can do all the lead gen activities you want. Let me break it down right here for you. Let's see here, right here, right? Like agent, let's see, bam, it's a little too big, right? Agent, sales, funnel, okay? All right, you think about a sales funnel, bam, funnel is shaped like a triangle right there, right? Okay, and right here, we got the closings, right? These are the deals closed. Okay, up here, right, you got all the lead gen activities. Right, all the lead gen activities. So you start thinking about all the lead gen activities, all right? And you think about everything social media. You got for sale by owners. You got expireds. You got pay per click. You got open houses. You got door knocking. Let's see. What else we got? We got direct mail. We got Zillow. We got all the buyer lead stuff, realtor.com. all that stuff. You got, sphere of influence, past clients. Let's see, name some more. Put it in the chat. Like, what are other lead gen activities? You got social media here. For sale by owners expired. You got circle prospecting, for rent, buy owners. You got, let's see what you got in the comments. Let's see, referrals. I mean, once you start naming them, you realize there's not a whole lot. And if you do start naming them, you keep brainstorming new things, like probate. You start naming, and what happens is you start naming the same stuff, you just call it something else. There's only a handful of different lead gen activities, right? There's only a handful of different lead gen activities. And so when you think about the lead gen activities, which are here, right? And this is your sales funnel, right? You can't get around this right here, right? This spot right here. You can't get around it before you can get to the deals. Therefore, this is the gate keeper. Can't get around it, right? You can't get around it and get straight to the deals. From the lead gen to the deals, you can't get around this. What is this? I'll tell you what this is. This is conversations. It is literally the gatekeeper. You can't get around it. So what is extremely interesting to me is the fact that, our job as a real estate agent, our job is to talk to people that we do and don't know to help them buy and sell real estate. That's our job. That's the whole, that's what our entire career is predicated on, talking to people that we do and don't know to help them buy and sell real estate. What's interesting is that most agents do not want to talk to people that they do and don't know. They want to help them buy and sell real estate, but they don't want to talk to them to help them buy and sell real estate. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. So what do we do as an industry? We do everything we can to not talk to someone and then try to do deals. So we do Zillow leads, we do open houses, we do direct mail, we do social media. What else do? We do pay per click, these things that don't involve, like just head up, just talking to people. We do these things. But what's so ironic about that is that we spend a lot of time, money, and energy to do these things to avoid conversation, right? We do all these things, and we spend a lot of time, money, and energy to avoid conversations. But what's so hilarious about it is after we spend all the time, money, and energy, we then spend some more time, money, and energy and call. Like, we spend so much money, thousands and thousands of dollars to not call someone, just to turn right around and call the people we spent thousands of dollars to get. But what I don't like about that strategy is it's too much time, it's too much money, it's too much energy. I can't control how many leads I'm going to get from Zillow, from pay-per-click, from an open house, from direct mail. I can't control how many people I'm going to get. I can't control the quality of leads I'm going to get. And I can't control the price of the leads I'm going to get. So I'm at the mercy of something else providing me with leads, and I have no control over how many I'm going to get, what they're going to cost, or what the quality of the leads are going to be. Why would I do that when I can literally avoid all this time, money, and energy? I can't avoid the conversation because, look, when I get the Zillow lead, I got to talk to them, right? And you could put it in the chat. Have you ever bought a Zillow lead or done pay-per-click or open house and had people reject you? Because most people won't make calls because they're scared of rejection. Well, let me tell you something. You're going to get rejected. That's part of the business. But what you need to do is redefine rejection. You need to realize that rejection and objections are just your prospect telling you what they want to do. Don't think of it as rejection. Listen to what they're saying, go with it, and help them do whatever it is they're trying. Even if it's not to work with you, even if it's to hang up on you, even if it's don't take it as an insult. take it as, okay, that's what they wanted to do. Great. Because I'm not looking for yeses. I'm not in the market looking for yeses. I'm in the market looking for decisions, right? 70% of people are either not going to like me or they have another agent, which means what? 30% are going to love me. I'll put a big heart here. They're going to love me and want to do business with me at some capacity for the rest of their life. I can't worry about the 70%. So when I start to realize that conversations are the key to all closings, I can really kind of start to think, why would I spend all my time, money, and energy on these activities when I got to call them anyway? I can't get around the conversation. I can't control how many leads I'm getting, how much they cost, or what the quality of these leads are, or how many of them I'm going to get. Why don't I control my own destiny, skip all the time, money, and energy I'm spending trying not to make calls and not to talk to people, get the type of clients I want where I can control exactly who my clients are, exactly how many leads I get, and exactly how much I'm going to pay for those leads, which are the cheapest price, by the way. I eliminate all the time, money, and energy I was spending to not call people, to turn around and just call people, and just spend 1 cent. 1 cent per contact for the exact people I want to do business with. Circle prospecting for sell by owner, expireds for rent by owners. I get to pick my prospects. I get to get their information for 1 cent. I get to call them the same way I would if they're one of these expensive leads that I spent a lot of time, money, and energy to get. And I literally can talk to them right now. I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait for them to come into an open house. I don't have to wait for Zillow to give them to me. I don't have to wait for them to see my videos online. I can talk to them now, and conversation is the key. So what am I waiting for? Why am I spending time, money, and energy I could literally keep and invest into a property to actually build a legacy and actually hack the entire system, and just go straight to the source and call it a day? When you realize this stuff, okay, so here's the fact right here, right? $1 million. $1 million, right, equals your goal. $1 million equals your goal, right? When I say $1 million, let's see, is this working good? Let's see what's happening with my vibe. What's happening with my vibe? Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Let me know in the comments. You guys can see my vibe good? Because I changed it here and I don't see the changes on the vibe. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me try to fix something here on the camera. All right, let's see. What is going on with the VOD? Let's see. Okay, what is going on with this? Let's see. What's going on here? Here. I'm still here, man. I'm still here. Like something happened. All right. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you guys can still hear me here. Hear me and see me. Let's see. Offline. Let's see. I should be back online now. Let's see. Yeah, it should be getting back. Oh, you can hear me? You can see me? Like my internet went out for a second, but like I'm back. I'm back in the game. I don't know where you guys lost me, man. Like tell me, let me know in the chat like what the last thing you heard me say, because I've been breaking it down like a fraction over here. I've been breaking it all the way down. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna restart my Vive for a second. Let me know. Let me know where you guys lost me. Only the last few seconds. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Let me get my Vive back up and running. I hate it when the internet busts out of here, but that's all right. That is okay. I'm gonna keep this thing going. Let's see where we are here. Good to see you guys. If you're just tuning in, we had a glitch with the internet. We're back online. We're back live. We're back making it happen. Let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from, as I'm getting geared back up here. Let's see. All right, right here. Because I can't get any more passionate about what I'm talking about. And I've got to scream this from the mountaintops for you guys. Let's see. Okay. We are back in the game. I might be lagging a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, here we go. We have blast off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Okay. Let me just rehash what I just said, and then I'll move on to my next point, and we will keep going here. So I know this looks like a lot of scribble, but while I was doing it, it was good stuff, right? So this is a agent sales funnel. All right. Let's see. Come on, Vibe. There we go. This is an agent sales funnel. And okay. And in this bracket right here, we got all the lead gen activities. Well, you can't get to the deals until you have conversations. They all roads lead back to conversations. It's the gatekeeper, right? So what agents do is they want to avoid conversations. So they spend a lot of time, money, and energy just to turn right around and have conversations with the people they try to avoid having conversations with. I always say, like, the people that make videos, great, good for you. But I already talked to the people that you're trying to get to. I already talked to the exact people I want to talk to, that I want as clients. I've already talked to them. I've already secured the relationship. We're already moving forward. We're already pending. And I can only do so many deals. I can only have so many conversations per day. So why do I focus on anything except for conversations? Because that's going to be the gatekeeper. So I decided a long time ago, I'm not going to spend time, money, and energy on things that don't allow me to control who I'm talking to, how many conversations I'm having, and how much I'm paying per conversation. I can just pay 1 cent, pick the exact property owners I want. I can go ahead and have the conversations now without waiting. Why would I do this? This is the most efficient. This is the greatest hack in the century. Now I'm going to break down a strategy for you guys that you can use to call your prospects. Okay. But before I do that, I want to break this down. Okay. 1 million equals your goal. So I'm going to give it a second for my Vive to catch up here, because there's a little lag happening, but that's all right. Let's see. Let me see it change on the Vive. We'll go follow. Okay. I don't know why it keeps doing like that, but here we go. So 1 million equals your goal. So when I say 1 million, it's like It's like, well, I'm not really, I'm not that ambitious. I'm not really I don't care. When I say $1 million, I'm talking about whatever your goal is. If you want to make 200K a year, 500K a year, 2 million a year, I don't care. 1 million. When I say 1 million, it means your goal. The only thing, guys, please get this. Please get this. The only thing between you and your goal, the only thing between you and your goal right here, the only thing, there's this wall right here. And the only thing that's holding that wall up, right, are thousands of one-on-one conversations. The only thing between you and your goals are thousands of one-on-one conversations with people in your market. Now, you can spread them thousands of conversations out over the course of your life and never get there, never get to your goal. And that's what most agents do. They want to avoid the conversations, right? So they want to avoid the conversations and spend time, money, and energy and let somebody else dictate how many leads they're going to get, the quality of the leads, and how much they're going to pay. They trickle the conversations and they never talk to thousands of people. Look, we don't have anything promised tomorrow. Like, we don't have anything promised tomorrow. Why are we waiting to have the thousands of conversations? Like, dude, it was crazy. I was in are we back frozen? Man, what's going on here? We're back frozen. Am I live here? What's happening? What's happening? My goodness, man. My goodness. Let me get in here. Let's see. All right, let me get in here. Where are we? Why can't I do a live video? It's nuts. It's crazy. Let's see. Dang, this is sad. This is sad. You can hear me? Okay. I'm frozen, but you can hear me, man. That is crazy. All right, so I'm just going to talk then. So I was in Vegas, and I was speaking at BAM Mania Friday, and it was crazy because let me look on here and see. Okay. Okay, I think I see some. I'm gonna watch the video on my phone and see what happens with it. All right, so all right. Yeah, like it's fuzzy and stuff. I see it playing though. So like I was in Vegas speaking to BAM, and like it hit me all at once. And I said, you know what, guys? I was like, does anybody here want to be a real estate agent forever? I was like, does anybody want to be a real estate agent? And if you want to do this forever, guess what? Not a single person raised their hand. And I looked around and I was in shock. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, everybody here's a real estate agent, right? Everybody here's a real estate agent, but you're telling me nobody here wants to be a real estate agent? Oh, that was an eye-opening moment. Let me tell you right now. So I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so nobody here wants to be a real estate agent forever. Why are you trickling the conversations to hit your goals? Why are you not cramming the thousands of conversations you got to have in the next 3 to 5 years, right? Why aren't you cramming those into the next 3 to 5 years instead of trickling those out over the course of your entire life and never even hitting your goals? Why are we doing this? So that was the question that I had. Because like that's something you really need to think about, right? Let's go ahead and get the thousands of conversations out the way. Get to the $1 million now. We're not promised tomorrow, And let's go ahead and get there so we can get on to bigger and better things in our life that we actually want to do. Because obviously, nobody wants to be a real estate agent forever, according to the survey that I just did in Vegas at BAM Mania. All right, so let's move over to the strategy here. And I hate, guys, that it's a little laggy, that the internet's, lagging and all this stuff, but kind of is what it is, and that's what we got to do. In the description, I've got a script for you. You don't even have to put your email in. Just get it, and there it is. I've got the Red-X discount for you to get property owners, and I've got a tutorial of Red-X. This is what you're going to do right here. This is the greatest strategy I've ever seen. It's called the trade-up seller strategy. You literally pick any property that you want. I wish I could be on my Vibe writing, but the internet ain't agreeing with us today. You pick any property that you want, right? It could be your listing, another listing, an off-market property. It doesn't matter. You pick the property you won't sell today. So step one, find something to sell. This is step one. This should be step one. Find something to sell. Your listing, another agent's listing, an off-market property. I don't care what it is. Identify a property that you want to sell today. Okay, that's going to be step one. Step two is we're gonna get a list of people that would potentially want to buy this property. It sounds pretty simple, right? But I'm gonna break this down for you. You find the property, if it's a new construction, 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, on the water, whatever. You use Red-X to get all the property owners in another subdivision, in the same subdivision, in a 1 mile radius, whatever, and you filter that list down, because on Red-X you can go to filters, and I have all this in the tutorial. Like, there's a tutorial right there in the description that I literally share my screen and break down exactly how to use the filters and all that stuff. But you're going to use the filters to filter out, to filter to the people that might actually want to upgrade into that property. You get the list of property owners. So now we're still dealing with property owners who may want to buy this property and upgrade into this property. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the script that's in the description. And we're going to say, hey, Mr. Johnson, it's Ricky Caruth with whatever real estate company in whatever area right down the road from you. How you doing today? Cool, me too. I'm enjoying the day. Isn't it gorgeous? Great. Well, listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time today, but I see you're in a 3-bedroom. Do you need a 4-bedroom? I got a really nice one right down the road. I'd love to show you. This is literally, it erases all fears of cold calling, because you're not trying to get them to sell their property. You're not trying to get them to do anything. You're just asking them a question. Do you need a bigger house? So it relieves all your resistance to making these calls. A, you're showing up and giving something to them instead of trying to take something to them. B, and what happens is magical. They don't look at you as a salesman anymore. They look at you as a human who they become interested in. And now they open up to you and tell you exactly what it is they want to do so that you can help them do it. You see, I'm not trying to necessarily sell the property I'm offering them. I'm using the property as an excuse to talk to them, to see what it is they actually want to do and why. When we prospect, the objective to prospecting is not to sell a property. The objective to prospecting is to get our prospect to open up to us, to tell us exactly what it is that they want to do so that we can help them do it, right? That's the skill that you got to develop. That's the skill that you got to develop. Not sales, not closing people, not handling objections and getting them to do stuff they don't want to do. That's not the skill you got to develop. The skill you need to develop is how to make people feel comfortable enough with you to open up to you, to tell you everything they want to do. That's it. That's the entire objective of lead gen. Because if you can get them to open up to you, if you can get them comfortable enough to open up to you, they're comfortable enough possibly to do a deal with you. That's the first step. And then if you can get them to tell you exactly what their plans are, well, now you can actually put together a custom game plan around their situation to help them do whatever it is they're trying to do. Remember the very first thing I said at the beginning of this video. The definition of a listing is a written agreement in which a property owner hires you to solve a problem of theirs. Not to sell a property of theirs, but to solve a problem of theirs, right? And through selling the property, it solves their problem. So that selling the property is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of solving their problem, helping them solve their problem. Well, what do you have to do first? We have to understand what their problem is, right? And so the objective of making these calls is not to sell that property, is to get to know the person, to see what it is they want to do and why. Listen, guys, closings are going to happen every single day for the rest of your life, regardless. You don't have to get people to buy and sell properties. They are buying and selling every day. Every day, they're buying and selling properties. Every day. Every day, closings are happening in your MLS, more than you could ever handle in your life, right? If you could just do one of those per day, that's 30, 31 deals a month, right? You couldn't even handle that much business if you just did one of them per day. More business than you can ever even imagine or dream that's available to you right now. It's so abundant. It would be like drinking the ocean. You can't do all the business that's available to you. Not even just all the business, but all the business that's available to you. So my question to you is, now that you've seen this and now that you realize that the only thing between you and your goals are thousands of one-on-one conversations with people in your market, my question to you is why aren't you going to go out and execute on this? And I'll tell you why most people don't execute on this. It's because they're scared of change, right? Success equals change. And by nature, human beings are scared of change. And so our brain protects us from going out and trying new things because it's protecting us from potential change. Don't allow your brain to protect you from success. Don't allow your old self to hold your new self back. Go out and take control of your future. Take control of your business. Take control of the results that you want to create and just go make it happen, because let me tell you something. It's available. It's available to you. It's available to each and every one of you. Every single one of you can do this. All right. Cool. Good stuff, guys. So I got all that in the description for you. You don't have to give me your email address or anything. It's all just there. Just click, watch the tutorial, get your discount for RedX, and also download the script. No email. Just click the link and there's the script. All right. I hate that the internet was funky with us and it's blurry or whatever the case may be. But listen, I answer every single message on Instagram. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, I'm here to help you. You can find me at Ricky Carruth on Instagram. Just DM me there. If there's anything I can do for you, I'll be the keynote speaker at NAREP down in Miami Tuesday at 4:30. So looking forward to seeing you guys if you're going to be down in the Miami area. I've got a Dallas. I'll be at Dallas January 16th. I'll be down in Orlando in March. So I got a couple things cooking for next year in terms of keynote speaking and appearances and stuff like that. But my goal is to do a live training like this every week right here on YouTube, just to bring you as much value as I can and share that passion that you just heard today, so that hopefully you can get some of this energy and take it and run with it in your business. All right. I love you guys more than you could ever know. We will see you soon.